Hola, hola! Welcome to another episode of the Good News Roundup. Today's stories include why the Webb telescope will change the direction of science, news from Spain, where the government will offer free trains starting in September, a study that finds a weekend workout can be enough to stay fit, the Netherlands' plan to make working from home a legal right, and the first community-owned elephant sanctuary situated in Kenya. Astronomers are calling it the dawn of a new era, as NASA revealed the first full-color images and data from the new James Webb Space Telescope. And they are much more than just spectacular. It's giving us a breathtaking view of the cosmos with the deepest and sharpest infrared images of the distant universe to date, and goes beyond anything the Hubble telescope, which has been astronomers' window into space for the last 30 years, could do. The Webb telescope is the largest and most powerful space observatory ever built. It gives us access to the very birth of the cosmos and galaxies that originated more than 13 billion years ago. Astronomers say the leap in growth in our understanding of the universe will be as great as it was with the Hubble telescope, which is really saying something.
Webb is the first observatory that will allow us to explore worlds as small as ours. And we're going to start learning about these worlds outside our solar system for the first time with exquisite detail. I don't know what we will see. We have some idea, of course, but the universe keeps us surprising us.
One of the really incredible things to me about Webb is that it's going to study everything from the birth of stars and the planets that form around them, all the way to fully formed exoplanets. And so when you're interested in, why does the Earth have water, you have to go back to the source material. Webb studies every moment of that, and it's really going to answer questions about our own Earth.
It will help them to better understand our solar system, black holes, the evolution of stars, exoplanets, and look for closer, potentially habitable worlds. In a new plan to combat rising inflation and the energy crisis made worse by the war in Ukraine, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez has announced that most short and medium-distance trains will be completely free this autumn. All local commuter trains and most mid-distance regional lines will be free from the 1st of September to the 31st of December. This could mean free travel between cities like Madrid and Salamanca or Seville and Granada if you buy a season ticket. The tickets will be funded by a new windfall tax on banks and energy companies, which have made huge profits from rising interest rates and energy prices. In a similar move, about a month ago, Germany introduced a €9 monthly transport pass to help citizens facing the cost of the living crisis. And now the German government is thinking about bringing in a climate ticket, which would introduce permanent tariff measures. Now to a story from Next, the future focus section of Euronews. My colleagues have reported on a happy new finding that says a big burst of exercise at the weekend is as good as spreading activity across the week. In the experiment, US researchers tracked more than 350,000 people over 10 years to see how well people who exercise in just 1 or 2 sessions, the so-called weekend warriors, fared. The starting point was the World Health Organization's recommendation, which says adults should get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity every week. Many of the participants in the study clocked up 150 minutes over the week, but some crammed it into 1 or 2 sessions rather than spacing it out. Now, the findings of the study suggest that as long as people hit the recommended amount of exercise a week, it doesn't really matter when they work out or what they do. The Dutch parliament has approved legislation to establish working from home a legal right, making the Netherlands one of the first countries to grant remote working flexibility by law. Under current Dutch law, employers can reject workers' requests to work from home without giving a reason. But if this new legislation passes the Senate, it will force employers to consider requests and provide explanations if they do turn them down. For employers, this is also a good law because a happy employee is a happy employer, said the bill's co-author Steven von Beyenberg. Working from home was already popular in the Netherlands before the pandemic. It has one of the highest rates in the European Union. Have you ever considered adopting an elephant? This is Lorian, an orphaned female elephant who lives in the first community-owned elephant sanctuary. She was rescued by the Samburu, an indigenous tribe in Kenya who have deep respect for the wildlife with whom they share the land and its resources. The community saw how elephant calves in northern Kenya were often orphaned or abandoned due to droughts, human-wildlife conflicts, or just natural mortality. So they appealed to the local government and the Kenya Wildlife Service. And the authorities saw how the local communities were involved in rescuing, rehabilitating, and releasing elephants back into the wild. And the demand to create the first community-owned elephant sanctuary was granted. If you enjoyed this Good News Roundup and want to hear more, let us know in the comments and share our stories with your friends. And remember, it can be hard to find among the headlines, but some news is good news.